Today we're looking at a 5-bedroom HMO with 4 en suites and 1 off suite with a kitchen and communal. Now in the front of the property itself, we've had to replace the front door. Now we replace all our front doors on the property and upgrade it to a composite door. That way it's better security and also ups the values of the EPC ratings, especially if it's an old wooden door like this one was. Let's jump inside and let's start having a look at this week's Refurb Wednesdays. Welcome. Okay, so welcome to Refurb Wednesdays. Today we're looking at a 5-bedroom HMO, as we said, with 4 en suites and 1 off suite. Now the first thing you'll notice in the actual hallway, so all the hallways we keep nice, easy to maintain, white walls, and then we put a commercial grade carpet on the actual floor itself. The reason why we do this, especially at the entrance all the way up to the stairs, is that it gives the best chance to catch all the dirt along the way, so prevents any actual further maintenance with the carpets itself. Now the carpets we actually put in has a 15-year guarantee. So we've upped the level of the carpeting. The reason for it is for good wear and tear, because it gets a lot of foot traffic, especially in the actual the stairs itself. But all the bedrooms have the exactly same carpet, but not the commercial grade. That's only literally in this hallway. The second thing you'll notice over here is you've got a fire grade LD2 grade A fire system. So it's a fire panel system. Now this is a licensed HMO, so it needs to have a HMO license for it, which means that with this fire panel system, this has to be tested every single week. So it's really important that the letting manager knows what they're doing when it comes to actual managing HMOs, especially with regards to fire safety. This has to be checked all the time. Now, one thing you'll notice as well with regards to LED lighting, it's actually censored as well, which is great, because when it comes to tenants in the properties, they can have a tendency to leave lights on, especially in hallways itself. So at least that way it only comes on, as you can see from there. Now we do have the emergency lighting as well, which is important. And we'll mention some other fire features of the property for fire safety throughout the property as we go in. Now to the right of me is bedroom number 1. So let's jump into there and have a look at bedroom number 1. Welcome to bedroom number 1. So all the bedrooms, we have a FD30 fire door. Okay, so the 30 just means a 30-minute burn time. Sometimes you can get an FD60, which is in a 1-hour burn time ratio. All the door casings itself have been replaced with the FD30 door casing as well. So what it means, it has an actual a strip in there as well that you can put a smoke detector, a smoke intermittent strip in there. And what that does, it stops the actual smoke coming through in the event of a fire, and obviously expands as well if there's any heat in there as well to prevent any smoke coming through. Now we have to make sure that in all the fire doors itself, we have in the bedrooms and also the kitchens and the communals spaces that we actually have a door closer as well. So it self-closes nice and easy from there. Now in all bedrooms, we actually put a fully furnished. We also give 2 bedding sets, 2 towel sets, and we also make sure that we've got 2 bath mats as well. The type of tenant profile that we have in this property is a professional tenant. Now I'll tell you a little bit more about those tenants as we go along in this update itself as well. Now just over here we've got the ensuite. So this is a nice ensuite itself. We've got the toilet here to my right, and just behind the door we've got a little alcove where we've actually got the decent sized basin as well with mirrors, and we've got a shower with an overhead shower as well. So these shower trays generally like to stick to a minimum size of 800 by 800 on our shower trays. Where we can get bigger shower trays, we certainly do so. That way it's just a bit better for there. But with the 800 to 800s, it's nice, you can move around it nice and easy as well. Obviously you've got mirrors and cupboards as well as a desk there. Now let's jump into the communal space to see how that actually works, and how what's actually involved with our communal spaces there as well. Okay, so we're in the communal space currently at the moment. This is a nice size space. Now with every HMO, depending on this size, especially your license, you need to make sure you have a certain amount of communal space and a certain amount of kitchen space. Now if you've got a combined kitchen communal, you need to have a certain amount of square meterage for that floor space as well. So it's important to check with your local HMO officer to know what the actual regs are, because it can differ from council to council. Now our council it goes based on national guidelines. We actually go off Oxford. The reason why we do that is the most strictest, so we know that if things do change in the future, that we have protected the longevity of our HMOs itself. Now this HMO is fully rented out itself. We'll tell you more about rents later on. Now what we have got is obviously a table here that people can actually eat from if they want to. Smart TVs in all the bedrooms, as well as a communal 43-inch there as well, which is important. Got a sofa. The furniture supply that we actually use gives 3-year guarantee on all the furniture that we actually supply. So it's high quality, made in the UK, and it's actually made to order as well. So we can change the actual the cushions, we can change the materials on the sofas, etc. It just works really, really well for us. Okay, so one thing we're putting standard in all our HMOs now is the Inspire Home Automation. This is a phenomenal piece of kit. I think every landlord who has a HMO that's paying for the bills needs to invest in one. We've been tracking this and working with them for the last 2 years, and we have been finding across the portfolio that we've been getting between 25% and 50% reduction in all our gas consumption. So when it comes to you paying the gas bills over the heating, for the winter and stuff like that, especially we've had some cold winters recently, we've actually been really good on our actual bills, especially with increased prices on the gas and electric. For the gas side of things, it's been an absolute godsend, and now we put them in standard in all our refurbishments. It's important because it protects the longevity and also protects cash flow and profit, which is really important as an investor there as well. Blackout blinds as well, we put them throughout the whole property from there. Okay, so we're in the kitchen. This kitchen's worked out really, really nicely. So with all the kitchen, we supply everything, all appliances, microwave, toaster, kettles, all utensils. Now, what we found based on experience is that we put in 2 of everything when it comes to cups, plates, bowls, utensils, etc. The reason why we do this, so if we've got, say, this is a 5-bed, so we'll have 10 cups, we'll have 10, etc. The reason why we do that is just because generally find tenants are normally lazy and they don't clean up after themselves all the time. The tenants that we do have though, they generally look after the places. We're very picky on who we get. Because we get professionals, they're highly paid as well. They pay decent sized rents, which I'll speak to you more about later on. But the important thing is to supply to demand. That's really, really important as well. Now this 5-bed, we only need to put in 1 oven and 1 hob in here with an extractor fan as well. So this extractor goes directly out. So it's nice and simple. It's really important when you're looking at your kitchens to try and get the oven as close to the outer wall as possible, because you've got to think about ventilation, getting that smell, and also if there's any smoke, etc. when somebody's cooking, to get it out of the property. So ventilation is really important. You've got to think about that in your ensuite. Also got to think about it in your actual kitchens. So we're very fortunate to actually have a utility room in this property. So we've got a separate washer and a separate dryer as well. What we found from experience is that over the years, so over the last 11 years, we've done over 250 properties. And when it comes to HMOs, the first thing we used to do is we used to put a combined washer dryer in. Now what we found from experience is that they cause massive maintenance issues. You generally have to replace them every 2 years, etc. So we switched to a separate washer and a separate dryer, and we found from feedback from the tenants that we have in is that they should prefer it much better, because then while what someone is actually washing, somebody can be drying, etc., and rotate around. So we generally try and put those in wherever we can, especially if we've got space. We definitely make sure from our 3 beds all the way up, and then we start putting 2 dryers from like 7 beds, etc. up. Fridge freezer as well, which is important. So make sure there's enough shelf space for each tenant as well. Let's go jump upstairs and have a look at the first bedroom upstairs. Okay, so bedroom number 2. This one is the only bedroom that doesn't have an ensuite. It actually has its own off-suite, which is about a 2-meter walk from the actual the bedroom itself. They have their own key to get in, so nobody else can use it. So there's still benefits of an ensuite. Obviously, they have to just walk back and forth to the bathroom anyway. But it's a nice big ensuite, off-suite, which I'll speak about in a minute when I'm in there. Now, with all our bedrooms, as said, we actually put smart TVs in. This is really important. We've also got 1,000 megs internet connection throughout the whole house, which is important. So if we can put it in and it's available, I definitely normally recommend putting it in, because it does increase the stickability for tenants, especially with a lot of people working from here. And we've got a desk there, is really important. Now, our tenants for this type of property will probably be getting around about £140 per week per room. That's what they'll be paying, that's what we'll be receiving, which is really, really good for us, because we can get a nice, good valuation, and also the increases our cash flow as well, which is important. So because we like professional tenants, our professional tenants actually have really good jobs, but they might live away, and actually they just come here between Monday and Friday, and they like staying in the property, which is really good for us, because we're lower maintenance because they're not in here on the weekends. So let's go jump into the off suite so we can have a look at that. Okay, so this is the off suite for bedroom number 2. So this just works out nicely. We've got a nice 900 quad shower in here, and that works nicely. It's also quite big and spacious. We've got the actual towel rail here as well, so they can actually heat up the towel in the winter and keep it dry, which is important. So this has worked out really nicely. We generally try and do it, as I said, if we trying to save on space on another room, and rather have a bigger room. And in this case, we couldn't really do anything in this room. You can't have it as a single bedroom, can't have it as a double bedroom. So it was the best form of use for it. Okay, so between the off suite, bedroom number 2 and bedroom number 3, just in front of me, we've got the actual boiler in here as well. So we've got the boiler. This is a system boiler. So it's got a 10-year guarantee, I think, on this one. Now, important thing to think about with all your boilers is making sure that you service them every single year, especially if it's got a warranty. As soon as you miss a service, that warranty is completely void. So it's important for you to make sure that your actual letting agent is servicing that boiler while they're doing the gas certificate. So generally a gas certificate is around about £70 per year. To service it and get a gas certificate at the same time is generally around about £120. So it's well worth it. You're keeping the longevity of the boiler, but also making sure you're maintaining that warranty. So if something does happen, you've got parts and labour covered, which is important. Now, something to think about your boilers as well is putting a magnet flow on the actual boiler. As standard, we put them in as standard. That sometimes can increase the warranty on some boilers as well by at least 1 or 2 years. And for the sake of £100, £150 for magnet flow, it is really important to have that investment. Again, it needs to be cleaned every single year as well. Let's have a look at bedroom number 3. So in bedroom number 3, again, we've got all our feature walls. We make sure we keep those. So we've switched to a Dulux washable paint, so you can actually rub down these walls. Tried many different paints previously before. If you go check out our previous videos, you can actually see like we had done a dark navy blue and we went away from it. It just very, very hard to kind of patch in, and we kind of gone with this, which worked out really, really well. Now, something to think about with your HMOs is a lot of people try and skimp on when it comes to the refurbs, get the refurbs down as low as possible. Now, that does make sense if it's just a buy-to-let or depending on your actual strategy. You need to make sure that you supply in for demand and fit for purpose, meaning that you supply based on your tenant profile. Because we're doing a high-end tenant profile here, we go high spec. But the important thing that we do underneath everything that you see here is a full rewire, making sure you got a full heating system as well, making sure that you got fireboarding on all the ceilings so it's all protected, and making sure that you got all the fire systems in place as well. So that way you protect your longevity, your actual investment itself. And I'll explain a little bit more why we do that in the next bedroom. So we're in bedroom number 5. This is the final bedroom that we have here. We'll go into bedroom number 4 in a moment and have a look at that. Now, the important thing to think about is when you actually invest in, and the reason why I love investing in HMOs, especially professionals like this, it allows us to have the budgets that we need to, because we get the higher rents, that we can actually go into a property and put full rewire in, we can put a full new heating system in, we can actually make sure that we, it's a nice environment to actually live in itself. But the biggest thing that I found is when I actually started investing, I used to go into property and just do what was required, try and get the highest return on investment as possible. But what I found over 2-3 years is actually those return on investments weren't true return on investments, because your maintenance started going up quite high, and then all of a sudden there might have been damp issues, or that the boiler would go, or something would happen. And I never used to get the return on investments that I actually kind of predicted. So what we found based on experience is what strategy could we actually put into place that allowed us to spend the money that we wanted to protect the longevity of that property for 10 years, 15 years, 25 years. So we didn't have to spend large amounts of sums further on, and we knew what the infrastructure was behind the walls, because that's where a lot of money can be spent itself. So doing stuff like making sure that whole ground floor is damp proofed, making sure that we actually put a full new wiring system in here, a full alarm system for fire and also heating. That protects the longevity. So when it comes to my return investment, I know that's as close to my true return investment that I'm actually getting for my property, which is really important as an investor, because you want to protect that longevity of the property. Okay, so this bedroom number 4, this has its own ensuite to the right of myself. This is the smallest bedroom of the lot, which is about 8 square meters. We don't like to go lower than that. We generally like to get actually about 10 square meters or more, so double occupancy. Now, all our tenants are single occupancy anyway, but it just makes the rooms actually feel nice and welcoming, so they can actually stay in the rooms they want to, or go down in the communal space and to be able to kind of socialize or whatever they want to do in the property. Now, if you guys actually want to profit from UK property, but you certainly just don't have the time to do it, and you want to do it with minimal time involvement, then please head over to CG Homes Limited, that's spelled out limited, cghomesLimited.com, and book in a call with myself where you can speak to one of the team and we can actually help you progress forward, moving on your property journey. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and also share this with somebody that might have some value to it and actually learn something from it as well. Have a great day. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Nic Clark, and I'll see you at next week's Refurb Wednesdays.